G'day, this is Blxz and welcome back to Geneforge 5. Now, last episode we discovered what appears to be the Trakovite lair. I'm going to explore the Trakovite lair today and have a look what they've got to say. The Trakovites appear to be a possible faction here, so I might actually be able to join them. I'll see how it goes. On the other side of the fence you see several mines. They're still young. If they went off now, the blast would barely scorch your shins. It'll take months of care to raise them to the point where they are dangerous. A full shaper would be able to call a host of mines into being with nothing but energy, essence and concentration. Outsiders have to raise them the hard way. Alrighty. We got here. I just spoke with her. There we go. Oh, yeah, I've already spoken with her. Alrighty. Aiken, I think he might be the injured person. This man is sitting slumped in a chair. He's pushed himself as far back in the corner as he can and leans against the cold stone wall. His clothes are clean and new, but you don't think he has bathed for several days. He doesn't seem injured, no bandages or broken bones. However, at the same time, he's not at all well. He looks up at you. His face is calm, but his eyes are wild. They constantly flick towards the entrance to his room and back. He says in a whisper, "I am Aiken. Who are... Never mind." "Well, are you a Trakovite?" Yes, he thinks. I was. Now, I don't know. Went to Stormplane to find others. Missionary, I don't know. He is silent. Then he says, so quiet that you can barely hear it, "I was caught." "Are you still a Trakovite? Do you believe what they say?" He focused on staring at the entrance. He doesn't seem to have heard what you said. "Tell me about the storm plains." It is warm there. Not like here. I like it warm." "How did you get caught?" He speaks very slowly and quietly. "Talked to people, found some who listened. Then I talked to the wrong person. I was caught. I was brought before Alwan. Saw him, then taken away to dungeon." "What happened to you then?" For the first time, he smiles. It is a ghastly sight. "You will find out. Find out what they did to me. You all will. Soon enough, the Shapers will get us all." "How did you escape?" He silently extends a hand, palm up. A small, intense wisp of flame appears, dancing just over the skin. Then he pulls his hand back. "I had magic. They didn't know. I used it. I escaped. I came back here, and now I don't know." "What are you watching for?" "The Shapers, they are silent when they come. I know that now. One moment they're not there. Then they walk in. They may be out there right now. Everyone else is dead. Just us, and they will walk in. And then they take us. You and me. They will take our minds away together. I just want to see them the moment they appear." "Well, what are you going to do now?" "I will recover? Rest? Wait. Litalia will tell me to do something. I will do it." Litalia, that's an interesting name if anyone has played previous Geneforge games. She was a rebel if I recall correctly. So I think she's become a Trakovite. What a very changeable person. "What will you do?" "I will go where she asks, do what she asks, and die. I have asked her for this gift. Final purpose. When I'm better. Now, leave me. Just must recover." He rests his head against the wall and closes his eyes. Well, that guy is broken. Completely and utterly broken. He is mad. I know what they would have done to him if he escaped so quickly. Parcel. And Parcel's a lot stronger. There is a servile sitting by the wall in this chamber. He has a backpack open at his feet, and he is busily unpacking it and packing it again. He's clearly deciding what to take with him on his upcoming journey. When he sees you, he says, "Ah, the visitor, another traveller. I am Parson. I am glad I could meet you, but before I escape, I mean. Where have you been travelling?" "I've been in Burwood Province, the woods to the east. Proud rebel territory. A delicate place for a Trakovite to go, but better than some." "Why did you go to rebel territory?" "For the same reason we go anywhere. For converts. To get people, human and not, to turn away from the shaping, from the madness. The rebels tolerate us, as long as we anger the shapers more than them. But we still have to be careful in their lands." "Are they hunted in rebel lands?" Sometimes. Not by the serviles. They sympathise. But by the humans. They usually hate the shapers. But by the Dracons. We keep our distance from the Dracons." "Tell me more about those fucking bastards." "They lead the rebels in the south, not the north. Most rebels fight the shapers to be free. I think the Dracons want to rid the world of the shapers so they can become the new shapers. We oppose the Dracon path. The monsters they create like the Unbound and Dracons, when opposed, lash out." "Okay, need to escape." "I need to escape from caretaker Eloise. She wants me to stay longer, eat more, get fat and slow. I have to get back on my feet though. I do nothing to help the world sitting in this hole." What are you going to do now?" "Where are you going to now?" "Shaper lands. More I don't want to say. Trakovites are too free with secrets. This brings danger. Litalia is trying to get us to talk less. She's bringing many changes. Smart changes." Are you dangerous where you're going?" "Of course, all Shaper lands are dangerous. The Shapers are afraid. They are lashing out at anyone different. And Trakovites, we are very different. They get angry at anyone who tries to tell them sense. But you still have to try. Get them to listen." I do hope he succeeds. A bit of reason would be a good thing for everyone." He nods. "I appreciate those words. We will see. We will see." I'm not happy about that. This game's the reputation still seems to be pretty binary by the looks of things. It's either rebels or shaper, but these guys appear to be in a totally different league. So, anyway, where are you going now? What sort of changes is Litalia bringing? He suddenly looks very serious. "We Trakovites have been a soft, gentle people, saying our minds, smiling, happy, and getting murdered. There is a place for our ideas. It is the time for them. But we have to do more than talk. Things Litalia wants, they are harsh. To talk is fine, but sometimes you have to fight too." "No. Talk to Litalia. She will tell you what she thinks you should know." I've never really been hugely interested in the Trakovites before, because in Geneforge 4 they're a bit weak, they're a bit pathetic, but I don't know, I might actually go with them that's scary. They might actually go with them this particular playthrough. This is a breeding hall. The Trakovites are raising turrets, living tools, thorn bushes and other bits of already developed shaper inventions. They don't shape them, they carefully breed and raise them. The turrets are currently placid. They don't turn and aim at you. Training turrets is a difficult and important job, and the punishment for failure is harsh. Yeah, you get shot and killed probably. Yeah, I'm unsure. I mean, obviously, as a someone who shapes, regardless of what my character actually is, Trakovites really sort of are the opposite to me. But not sure yet. Not sure at all. There's a drake here, Geneforge. You find a drake sitting back here in this private cavern. He's a young, strong specimen, as powerful and arrogant as any of his kind. He snorts at you. "I am Geneforge. I prefer to be left alone. I will speak with you briefly, but only because I can make use of you. You're a Trakovite." "Yes, I am. Is that so odd? It makes sense. I make no secrets of why I'm here. The Trakovites give us respect, and I know what my kind needs." "I respect you." "Yes, who respects us more? The Shapers kill us on sight. Curse them! The rebels are led by the Drakons, who look down on us and treat us as servants. I don't know if I can keep doing this. I'm bright enough to see who would give us a good future. Maybe someday all of my kind will be as smart as me. Safety, I hide nothing about my self-interest in being a Trakovite. Once the Drakes were the mightiest creation, the most cunning, the most powerful. Then disaster. A fool rogue shaper made a Drakon, made a creation that could shape. Then the Drakon made more and more powerful Drakons, and other freakish creations like the Gazers were made. And the Shapers made new... He shakes his head. We Drakes are already an obsolete line. If nothing is done, we will be more so. Okay. What do you do for Trakovites? I fight. I'm always a final defender. I always volunteer. When the Shapers attack this haven, like they attack every haven, I stay and fight until all others escape. And you survive, I take it. Just turns and show you his side. A spectacular scar runs the whole length of his body. Then he laughs. Think this is bad? You should see what happened to the Guardian who did this to me. You take a risk. For my kind, the greatest honour is to slay a Shaper, the cursed ones who would make us cease to exist. We feed on them when we can. Being with the Trakovites has brought me much honour. You're a bit mad. You make use of me? Gestress looks you over again. Yes, you have poise, strength. I will let you assist me in a small matter. I was not always here. I was thrown out by the Drakons for speaking sense, for trying to convince others of my kind, of the wisdom of the Trakovites. The one who betrayed me to them, the coward, is called Toroth. She betrayed me, a fellow Drake, to add to her horde. I want her dead. Sounds good. Where is she? She patrols the killing grounds between Kazakius and the Shaper fortresses. I say this for her. She is no coward. She lives for the hunt. But she must pay for her treachery. Find her, slay her. You will be rewarded. Okay, sounds good. Nothing like a little bit of casual slaughter to aid in a good cause. So I think we'll assume Litalia will be here. There we go. She's looking very powerful as well. A shock troll, okay. It's like an upgraded war troll. There is a strange woman sitting at the head of this table. You meet gazers with her. It is a strange experience. You can't just see her, you can sense her. Whatever strange modifications you have experienced, she has too. Her face has the same cold, ageless quality. Her eyes the same faint glow. She watches you with great interest. You aren't sure whether she recognises you, or is just pleased to be able to analyse a kindred spirit. When she speaks, her voice is calm and confident. She has spent many years being used to having her words obeyed. I am Litalia, once of the Shapers, then of the rebels, and now I will raise the Trakovites from this low place. I have allowed you to find us and come to me because I wish to take the risk so many others have. I want to recruit this new mysterious Shaper, or Lifecraft if you prefer. Come, sit. I would tell you more of us. Now, why are they interested in me? She looks you over again. You can still ask that question. The world is balancing on the edge of a knife. Even the Shapers have come to question their path. One army could tip the balance in any direction. You're a Shaper, Lifecrafter, whichever. And you should know by now that one of your kind is an army in him or herself. You have not fully unlocked your power, but it is there. This makes recruiting you worth great effort. Why do you look at me like that? Do you know? They seem to be hinting, they don't actually tell me who I am here, but they seem to be hinting, all the characters from Geneforge 3 seem to be hinting that they recognise me a little bit, which makes me think I could be the missing main character from that one. But there's still, because can actually choose rebel classes as well, there's still the potential that you're the character from Geneforge 4 as well. So they do leave this up in the air, and I don't think they'll ever actually... I remember reading on the forum somewhere, I don't think they ever actually solve that issue. They leave it up in the air a little bit. So I'm probably going to play this game a little bit with the idea behind being the main character from Geneforge 3. If anyone's ever played that. If not, at some point I will do an LP of it in the distant future. Otherwise, go check out Bormac or some of the other people that I have linked in the past. Do you know who I am? She thinks carefully before she responds. No, I do not know who you are, but I do know that you, like me, have been altered, forever separated from our kind by Shaper magic. You try to tell if she's lying or not, but her face is blank. For all you know, you bore a great grudge against her once. There's no way of knowing yet. Yeah, it's definitely the character from Geneforge 3. Tell me more, who are you? I am Litalia. Once, I was Shaper Litalia, a good, loyal Shaper, young, unthinking, following the rules, making the required hordes. I had promise. Thus, I was given an important mission. I travelled to a village called Dry Peak, in the mountains to the south. A rogue Shaper was making new, unauthorised creations. The previous Shaper sent to deal with the situation had not succeeded. My job was to purge the mountains, destroying anything that displaced even a hint of the road. And it was there that I first met Drakes and Drakons. What happened then? I had travelled through the mountains, slaughtering as I went. It was the first time I had killed for the Shapers. It unsettled me. Then, in the highest peaks, I led an assault on an uncontrolled underground lair. It was there that I first met Guldring. The same Guldring leads the rebellion now. Unlike his servants, he did not attack. Instead, he deflected my attacks, and he spoke. He found me in a moment of weakness, of doubt. His ideas, his hatred of Shaper law, his desire for freedom, it spoke to me, and I confess it, his offer of great power was also welcome. She holds up her hand and looks at it, the slight glow of her waxy flesh, the power within her that, as in you, always seems to want to leap forth. The promise of power was kept. So I disappeared. I helped him escape, and I fled the Shapers. God, I hate Litalia. This whole war, this entire thing, rests pretty much on her shoulders. She was one of the turning points anyway. There are a number of turning points where it's come down to just the actions of a single character. And that's your fault, Litalia. I don't want to help you, but I think you're trying to make amends now, at least. Is it really that simple? It was. It was a remote land, and I was only accompanied at that moment by my creations. I had to kill no Shapers. That day, anyway. You joined the rebellion. Joined? We started the rebellion. With some difficulty, we went to the Ashen Isles. Guldring chose that location. He thought that it was remote enough for him to do the work that was needed to create and reshape Drakons and to make an army. This took years. The Drakons made new generations of themselves, heartlessly destroying the weak and copying the strong. And I learned the art of canisters, how to make them, and use them, and use them. Those were the happiest years of my life. Planning, hiding, sending out agents, preparing to emerge. My new beliefs had not soured in me yet. But those times had to end. There were too many of us. We had too much power. Our detection was inevitable. It was time to make the great gamble. We would unleash the full, uncontrolled power of the Shapers against them. I left our home, found a target, and lashed out. At a school of shaping. I made creations, entered the school, and slaughtered all I found. I thought that was a good symbol. After all, I was in a school that the Shapers did their best to enslave me. But I felt such joy. The canisters had changed me. They filled me with power and rage, and it felt so good to let it out. But I'm not like the others. I realised what was happening to me, and it disgusted me. Do you feel that I'm the same? You can obviously control the power and the rage, for now, but I suspect you will always need to be vigilant. You stayed with the rebellion. I still believe that its cause was just. We fought, we took advantage of the arrogance of the Shapers, and we had more success than I had thought possible. I thought that my crude child's idea of a just world could exist. And then as we conquered Eastern Terrestria and consolidated our gains, I saw what was happening to the Dracons, to Galdric, to all of them. They began to command the other creations, and to shape all sanity and control out of themselves. They're arrogant creatures. It's not unique to them. The Shapers are the same way, and yet this does not excuse them for the horrors they've created. On the day that the first Unbound were released, I realised the truth. Okay, what did you realise? The power to make life is too strong. It corrupts. It gives one madman the ability to do immeasurable harm. And this can't be prevented. The day the Unbound were unleashed was the day I became a Trakovite. And that is my tale. Thank you for your patience. I will spare you the story of how I contacted the Trakovites, how I took a band of scattered and confused victims and convinced them to follow me. Trakovites can make their ideas heard, if they have the courage to do what needs to be done. Something about the way she says this gives you a chill. If her story is to believe, Litalia is good at two things: believing in a cause very strongly, and killing for it. Yeah, she's a social warrior, old Litalia. If it was anyone else leading this faction, I would jump at the opportunity to join them. I really think in this game they stand the best chance. The Shaper Council is just fracturing and falling apart, and the rebels are... You can't justify a single thing they're doing. It's absolutely disgusting. But Litalia, I can't stand her. Can't stand her one bit. So I'm torn here. I don't know if I'm going to actually join this faction or not. So we'll see how I go. Training. I can only train in the shaping arts, and surprisingly, I choose not to do so. Sage Mandoa may, however, choose to teach you magic. I would speak with him. How do I actually join them if I were to join? Okay, there's more. Actually, there's more for her to say. So more than I have already said. There's little that I can say. I do not like to dwell on the past. I always look ahead towards my current goal. Have you been reshaped recently? She looks down at her hands, resting on the armrest of her throne. I have not touched a canister since I left the lands of the rebellion. The compulsion is there, but I resist it. The more time that passes without being shaped, the more I seem to return to myself. This pleases me, and I will struggle to continue in this way. Can you still shape? I can. I could raise my arms, and in a moment a host would join me. And to answer your next question, if our haven were attacked, I would do whatever I had to do to protect my followers and keep our movement alive. I am sincere in my beliefs, but I am not entirely pure. Any idea who I am? I have already asked her that. Oh, hang on, no, I haven't. This is different. No, I do not know who you are, but I do know that you, like me, have been altered, forever separated from our kind by Shaper magic. Take this small opinion from me. Sometimes, forgetting your past is a blessing. The debts and the grudges, the crimes. Sometimes I wish it would happen to me. Yeah, I think that's everything that I'm going to get from her. I don't know how to join this faction yet, or even if I can join it. Maybe I can't. But, I do like this faction a bit. This box is full of old notes, lab journals, half-finished research articles, and related debris from a life spent in laboratories. One recent item gets your attention. Also, when we no longer make creations, that doesn't mean we cannot fully utilise those creations that have already been created. For example, were I to infuse a length of wood with berserker spores and a dracon scale I happened to have lying around, what harm have I done? How have I violated the rules of the Trakovites? Berserker spores and dracon scale. It's interesting. It'd be a wand of some sort, I imagine. See if my... Yep. I think I can just break through that. Nope, too weak. Oh well, I'll just use them. What have we got in here? That's nice. Plus 2 endurance, plus 2 endurance of creations. That is an upgraded cloak, alright. Oh, well upgraded. It's good. I like the Fluorescent cloak, but its time has passed well and truly. A and alrighty, well, I think I'm going to call this episode here while I sort of figure out what I'm going to be doing, and I will join you next time. I've been Blxz. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do indeed like the content, and I'll see you next time. Take care.